show respect to the squad, that's a big up. I want my money in the grave, first we gotta dig up. They know exactly who I am, ain't no mix up.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Bakerboy.
And it's the greatest rapper under 30 years old, Young Cicero. How you guys doing?
And we back with another M&O Podshow, man. What's good, everybody?
What's up? How you guys doing? How you guys living? How's Corona treating you? I know the world's kind of crazy right now. I hope everybody being good, everybody being safe in the house, chilling.
Not in Vietnam.
Not
they
in
chilling,
Vietnam.
Man, but, we're going to touch on that a little bit later.
Sir.
But, you know, like always, man, we hope everybody doing good, being safe, being blessed, and don't take not one of these days, not one of these breaths for granted, man, because you never know when it could be your last. So live every day to the fullest, man.
Preach.
How you been, bro?
Been good, bro. I like I was telling you last time we linked up, I actually kind of like the fact my hours going down at work. I was just playing you some new music from my next album. So not even the one that's coming out now, the one afterwards. That's how much I've been grinding, so I'm loving it.
I told you, I still be bumping to your old
stuff. Always classics, bro.
You drop so much new stuff, I can't keep up with you, man.
That's how much I be working, though. You feel me?
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Same thing with me, man. Just been trying to grind, man. You know, school year is finna come to an end, so thank God virtual school is finna be over. Thank you, Lord. I hate it. I know you kids out there hate it, man.
I hated it. Yeah, I hated it too, man.
But unfortunately, though, that means it's back to the grind for me, man. I got to grind even harder. But I have been doing my little photography stuff, a lot of graduation stuff. So
yeah.
Anybody need graduation pictures, you already know how at your boy.
Hit him up.
Instagram, find me. But yeah, man. So what we got for him today, man?
Crazy week. This is probably since we started the pod show. This has probably been the craziest week we've had.
Yeah.
We've got obviously everybody knows what's going on in Minnesota right now with George Floyd and all the riots going on. It's not even protests at this point. It's riots. President Trump on Twitter. I mean, we all know he's a Twitter maniac, but he basically going on Twitter giving the okay to shoot protesters, which is crazy.
Crazy.
Like the president. I've never heard a president give the okay to shoot his own citizens. Like, that is wild.
I like how you say his own citizens.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. This one's kind of interesting. This is, what does the virus mean for hip hop artists and actual hip hop moving forward? And then, like Bakerboy mentioned, we got Vietnam got zero deaths to the coronavirus. Only 328 cases in Vietnam. It's like a third world country. So crazy week, man.
8 doctors to every 10,000
people. 8 doctors. Think about that for a second. Their medical system is set up where they have 8 doctors to every 10,000 people, and
97 million
people,
and not one corona death.
That's almost a few million short, but I think that's almost a third of the U.S.
But we're going to come back to that, man. Right now, we're going to start off with what's on everybody's mind right now.
Got to.
And that's the George Floyd murder and riots. I'm going to start off and say, first of all, it's horrible.
It's terrible, man.
Anybody who's begging for their life and pleading for their life like that,
yeah, you should.
While others stand around, why
watching, man.
Other cops stand around, no other cop is saying let him up. And me and Cicero was talking about this earlier, and regardless if he's white, black, or brown, it's wrong, man.
It's just wrong, period,
you don't do that
man.
to nobody, man.
Somebody pleading for their life on the ground like that, defenseless. It's not like he's fighting, get off of me. He's just defenseless. Hands behind his back, tied down. There's another picture. I don't know if everybody's seen it. Another picture from another angle, like from across the street, where it's 3 people holding him down, and then the cop with his knee on his neck. So it's 4 people holding down one man. It don't take that much, man.
And he's already handcuffed.
What threat is he at that point?
And what bothered me is once the man was unresponsive, he still continued to have his knee on his neck.
Yeah, that's when you should have definitely stopped. You should have stopped before, but that should have been like, all right, like, you doing too much now.
I saw a movie one time, and I cannot remember the name of the movie, but in the movie, a cop got shot, and in the process of the cop getting shot, the suspect who shot the cop was shot as well. And when they got to the hospital, they took the cop in first, and they was trying to save the cop, but they couldn't save him. Then the suspect came in after, and the doctors went and tried to save the suspect because that's their job.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, their job is to save you no matter what you did.
Yeah.
No matter what type of crime, no matter what, that was their job.
Their job's to save you.
Other cops were upset. Oh, he killed our cop, and you're gonna try to save him. That's their job.
Their job is to save. If you come in that emergency room, they don't care where. Like their job is to make sure you do not die.
Make sure you do not die. Now, I put that on the police as well.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole process of arresting somebody, once you arrest them for whatever they're doing, you still owe that person a duty to protect their life.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point does their life become negligent to the point to where you can sit on somebody's neck until they completely pass out
and just die?
I don't understand. You're not a threat at that point, man. And that bothers me more than anything. You know, everybody is so quick to make everything racist or about racism, which in some cases more than not they are.
They are.
But a life is a life to me, bro. I don't care what color he was. That's wrong, man.
That's just murder, man.
Complete murder. And me and you talked about it with the Arbery case. Murder is murder. Like we so busy trying to focus on whether it was racism or not. It is murder.
Killed somebody, bro. You deserve to be punished for that.
You deserve to be punished.
It don't matter if they
that.
purple, if they brown, if they from another planet. You kill somebody. You took somebody's life. They can no longer be here to live out the rest of their life. You deserve punishment for that.
And what I don't like is that his family has to live with hearing him beg for his life.
Yeah, that's fucked up, bro.
That part there bothers me more than anything.
That is terrible, man.
You know, you have a man pleading and begging you, and then, you know, you have no remorse. You just, you know, to me, that's worse than racism.
That's an animal, man.
Yeah.
That's an animal.
A lot of people want to call this racism. That's deeper than racism.
That's deeper than racism, for real, though. Yeah, that's just like a lot of cases in the past have been a pull of a trigger and it's over. And not saying that's right, but that's just like, just sitting there just killing somebody and you just watching, and you literally watching somebody's life being taken away slowly too. It's not like it's fast. It's a slow process. He had his knee on it for what? Almost 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes, something like that. That's just
so
crazy,
many different
man.
Numbers, and to me, I've heard so many different. Somebody said 5 minutes. Somebody said 9. At the end of the day, bruh, a minute is too long.
A minute.
If you see the man is on the ground handcuffed and you got 4 officers,
that's already too long.
That's too long. But you know what I think people fail to realize, and me and Cicero was watching a few videos earlier of cops beating up white people, beating up black cops beating up black
people.
Men.
That stuff exists.
It exists. It's not just a race thing. I think people don't understand that a lot of these cops
just bad people, man.
Couldn't be bad people.
They're just bad.
They're that person who didn't make the football team a lot of times, not always. But that person who wasn't popular in school, that person who was a nerd, and he finally got a badge, and he think he's big and bad. And
now you got to do what he says, basically.
Yeah, and if you don't, they feel like they could do whatever they want. And I don't know if it's on the police department, the police training,
for like who they choose and who they approve to be cops and stuff like that.
But I think it's bigger than just racism, bro.
Yeah, I think this one's a little deeper than racism. This particular case, I feel like it's deeper than racism because it's the fact of having no remorse shown for that, and it just being documented, and the people watching and nobody doing anything. That's different. That's deeper than racism. Like, if I had watched a black man doing that to another black man or a white man doing that to a white man, I would have felt the same way. Like, that's just fucked up, bro.
Same way, bro. And I really think that at the end of the day, we need to understand as people that a lot of times we need to stick together more in these times versus separating. Because, you know, rioting is not the answer. Me and Cicero were just sitting here talking off air.
Yeah.
You know, going into the mom and pop store and destroying their store has nothing to do with the police.
or burning your local grocery store down, or like your Target and stuff like that. Like those places have nothing to do with what's going on. Like the people who are not involved in this rely on those different places for different things, man.
Exactly.
Now there's somebody who lives in the neighborhood who's got to go so much further to go get groceries now, because you took their grocery store away. They gotta go. People who are at Target can't work no more. They gotta stay home now, et cetera, et cetera. And for what? Like, you didn't. Of course, they're tired and you know they're fed up with what's going on. But it's different ways to go about this, man.
But
like,
you, on top of that, back to what you just said about working. You know how hard it is for people to get a job right now.
Right now, and you taking them away.
You know how hard it is for people to get food in certain places right now?
Yeah.
You just hit it on the head about having to go far for food. What about the elderly people who live up the street?
Who live up the street and rely on that place?
You know, like the rioting people, I beg of you, you guys
You gotta filter your anger a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not telling people don't be upset. Of course, be upset. I would be upset if that was a Hispanic person on the floor because I'm Hispanic. I'll be infuriated. But just because I'm mad don't mean I'm gonna go down the street and go burn a gas station down the street because I'm mad. That's not gonna change anything, man. That's gonna make you look worse. And you're giving fuel to somebody like Trump to call you something. You giving him a reason to call you that.
I'm so glad you said that, bro, because if you guys don't know, Cicero is referring to a statement that Trump made, and a lot of people were comparing the statements that he made in two different cities. One when white people were protesting, and he called them good people.
Yep.
And then the one where, and I can't even say that these are black people because these are just a lot of young people who are rioting.
I feel like it might not all be black people. I feel like, I don't know, I can't really tell in the videos, but I don't know if this is all black people.
It's not. And then, Trump referred to them as thugs. And, he's going to catch a lot of flack for that. But let's be honest. If you're out there burning down buildings, burning down apartment complexes, robbing a Target.
What do you expect them to call you a good person?
You are acting like a thug. That is not a riot.
You are further from being a good person than you are from being a thug, bro.
And in the process of going through all of this, people are getting hurt. People are going to get killed.
I think 2 or 3 people already lost their lives. One of them 19, my age.
And at the end of the day, what are you going to say that you died for?
Because you were mad.
Doesn't make sense. If black people feel that this is a racist thing, then what are you going to do about it? Tearing up buildings and stuff is not doing anything about it. You're just adding fuel to the fire in the thoughts of everybody thinking that you're a thug anyway.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, what really bothers me is that we always, as black folk, we try to fight everything physically. We never try to fight things with our brains. We never try to fight things in office. We don't fight things getting together and voting. We don't fight things by collectively being a group and buying up land and helping black kids become police officers and building those relationships to where these things don't happen. No, we go violently, and what has it ever accomplished? We could go back years. We could go back to Malcolm X and everybody else when Malcolm X and Martin Luther King wasn't even getting along because they saw things differently.
Yeah, one wanted to do it peacefully, the other wanted to riot.
And let's be honest, the rioting has never worked.
A lot of rights that African Americans have now is because MLK did it peacefully and he got them done.
Say that again, bro. I don't think they get that.
It's a patience thing, and I know patience is hard to preach to people right now because they're fed up. But I think what some of them don't understand is by rioting, you're not making any progress.
Oh my God, they don't see
that. You're not showing. I mean, it's hard to. This is a touchy subject. It's you're basically trying to ask angry people to show class by not rioting, and they're like, nah, we fed up, we angry. But it's like you don't understand that by showing class you make a difference, and people don't think that because for a long time we haven't shown class. It's been riots for a long time.
Yeah.
Some of them we've had riots in Miami before when I can't remember his name. Miami got killed by a cop. I can't remember. That whole situation is escaping me right now. But you can go back to the 92 riots in L.A. with Rodney King. He got caught on camera. Those riots didn't change anything. Rodney King still died. You couldn't bring him back. These riots are not going to bring back George Floyd. The cop is on trial right now. Like, let the trial take its place. Let the trial go through. If he comes out innocent or whatever, or they let him walk, then I'll back off, and I'm not going to tell you guys to do nothing. But you guys are rioting right now when he's actually being charged with third-degree murder. Other times, those guys haven't been charged for anything at all. At least this time he being charged.
And even with him being charged, I don't understand the rioting of destroying. Like, I don't know if you guys know what's going on. It's one thing to protest.
Yeah, with signs and stuff.
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing to burn down apartment complexes where innocent people stay. There was a video I was watching the other day, and it bothered me. There was a police car driving. All of these people jumped on the police car. The police car was slowly trying to get away, and eventually he speeded up because they broke out his windows.
Wow.
As he speeded up, one guy fell off the hood of the car. And he looks like he probably had a concussion, was knocked out because he was just laid there. I don't think he died.
Okay.
Because the way he fell, he probably hit his head and was just laid there, knocked out. The second police car, it was obvious he pulled up right next to him and stopped, which means he was about to help.
Yeah.
Before he can get out his car, guys jumped on his car and started breaking out the windows and everything else. So he had to drive off as well, leaving the guy on the ground.
Yeah.
Now, at what point are we going to understand that all cops aren't bad?
They're not all. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you hit it on the head.
You got one cop trying to help,
Mm-hmm.
but he's fearing for his life because you guys are so angry that you're being blinded. And they don't understand, and I'm going to constantly tell people this. I work with multimedia. The news is gassing everything up. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it is horrible. But the news is what's making you guys madder and madder and madder.
You're more
and
upset,
it's
man.
Not going to
Because
help.
they know that that you guys will buy into their story.
Yes.
That you will buy into whatever they sell you, which is why they put these things out.
Me and Cicero watched a video of a 11-year-old white girl.
Oh, the white girl, yeah.
Getting beat up by a white cop.
A white girl, little 11-year-old white girl getting beat up by a white cop. They're the same color.
And you would never hear this story.
And you never heard that story. And if you watch that video, it's just as messed up as the guy kneeling on the guy on the ground. It's just as messed up.
If this young lady was black,
It'd be all over the world.
All over the news. But at the end of the day, a life is a life.
Yep.
Me and Cicero watched another video where a white woman was punched in the face by a police officer. A little white woman,
probably like 5'something, 5'2", 5'3". Wasn't attacking a cop, nothing like that.
But if she was black, the news would make you so mad that you would want to go out and riot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to fix anything, because at the end of the day, we need to get on these voting polls.
Yep.
We need to get more active in our communities. We need to do a lot more things to educate each other and not be in these situations. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's be honest now, and this is what a lot of people give me flack for. If you're in certain predicaments, if you're in certain places, certain things are more likely to happen to you than others.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
And I'm not blaming nobody. I need people to hear what I'm saying. Let's be honest. How many of these cases have we seen with a guy in a suit and tie
Never
getting beat up?
I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen one.
And that's not to say that it's right or wrong. A life is a life. But we don't try to fight things in that way. When we fight behind a suit and tie, not always. Don't get me wrong now. Not always does it work, but more times than not,
It's more powerful. I feel like
it's more powerful than us getting out in the street trying to fight with this.
because when you come out of when you come out in the street and you start rioting, you look unorganized and uneducated about everything.
Bingo.
You are just displaying straight anger. We need to start putting more African Americans in office. We need to start giving African Americans more political power so our voice can be expanded and projected louder. Because right now, the voice that we have right now, the biggest voice African Americans have had in a long time was Barack Obama. And now the biggest voice we have is the riots. And the riots is not a good voice to be putting out right now.
And I'm glad you hit that on the head, because I'm going to put another thing out there, and I need you guys out there to understand me, and I need you guys to help me by commenting.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that we only had 1 million man march? Somebody help me understand that.
Only one.
That 1 million man march was one of the most powerful things we did.
Yep.
Together. And we only did it one time.
Only did it one time, and it made one of the biggest impacts ever.
And you hit it on the head. We're not patient. And because we're not patient, we're not diligent. And because we're not diligent, things don't happen. We give up on them, and we can't wait to use this.
You start getting frustrated.
We can't wait to throw hands. We can't wait to tear things up. But that 1 million man march is something that should happen every year.
Yep.
That is something that should happen every 2 years. We haven't had but one.
Yep.
But yet we have all of these people out here, and I'm going to call on the older folk, the older generation, because I give the young people credit for showing that they care. That's one thing I give these rioters credit for.
At least they
to
care.
show that they're actually caring about what's going on. Now, are they going in the right way about it? No, because a lot of you guys are going to mess around and get yourself hurt, killed, or locked up because you're going too far with certain things. But let's just be honest. Why haven't we had another 1 million man march? And things like that is what bothers me more than anything, because if we was doing these things, maybe we would have changed. Maybe things would be
Everything
different.
in the world takes patience, bro. Everything, even stuff like this. And like I said, I know it's hard to tell angry people to relax and be patient and go about this peacefully because they feel like peacefully some of this peaceful stuff probably hasn't worked. But when you're building something, you're putting something together, and you might be putting the piece. Let's say you building some Lego stuff or whatever, right? And you can't get the piece right. You start getting frustrated. You start going harder, trying to smack the pieces together. Next thing you know, you break what you've already built. That's how stuff like this is starting to feel. All the progress that's been patiently put together, that's been made, that got started by MOK and all them. When you start doing stuff like this, you start tearing some of those things down, and you start giving white people fuel to be like, ha, see, look how they act.
100%.
You can say whatever you want about the white people marching with their guns, and I'm not saying it's right to march with military-grade weapons, but at least none of them fired. At least they didn't go start shooting stuff up.
And you hit it on the head with what you just said, because we could even take it back to hip-hop.
Yep.
I've always said, why is it that when Obama was running, you seen a big presence amongst all hip-hop heads when it came to voting? Now that Obama is not there, you don't see none of that. You had Puffy. What happened to the vote or die shirts?
Yep.
It's like us as black folk do certain things, and then we stop. And then when we stop, we have to deal with the consequences of how things are. But then we sit back and want to get mad when if we would have been diligently doing what we already started out to do, maybe we would have changed. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. So, like always, leave a comment, drop some knowledge, let us know how you guys are feeling. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. We just trying to understand what is going
We're
through
trying to
everybody's
understand
heads.
why is this going the way it's going right now? Like, why is it going like that? I'm not black, anything like that. I'm Hispanic, but I grew up in a Haitian neighborhood.
He's black. He's black. He can fight it all you want. He's black.
I'm not black, skin color black, but I grew up in a Haitian neighborhood. I was raised around Haitian people. I grew up in black culture, so I've learned to appreciate it and become a part of it and love it as if it was my own culture. And when stuff like this happens, I get just as infuriated as regular black people do. Like, I'm not just sitting on the side. So I definitely feel everybody's pain for sure.
100, man. So me and Cicero will be back with another hot topic.
Been doing this for 2 years, don't tell me I'm impatient. Compare me to Ross and I'm LeBron of my generation. I'm only second to the MJ of my town. Purple rain weather, I'm the prince of the crown.